Tester here. All right, we're going to play Dimir Reanimate for this Duskmourn drop. So what we have here is basically the Dimir Tempo shell. We're including the Reanimate package in here. Expect Griefs, Reanimate, and we have the new Duskmourn cards, Demonic Council, and Valgavot, Terror Eater. So what's good about this card is that it's graveyard hate, it's lifelink. It has ward, it protects itself, and it's a 9/9. So essentially, this is a two-turn clock. And then it's also a card advantage engine. Since every card that goes to the graveyard from the opponent's side, you can cast it for free. Well, not free. You need to pay life instead of its mana cost. And what's good about this new tutor, at its floor, you can search for a demon card, which essentially we have only one demon. So that's Bhagavot. So the theory here is that we're trying to slim down the Reanimator package since if you load up on a bunch of Reanimator targets, for example, the usual Reanimate lists have Atraxa, they have Griselbrand, they usually have more than four reanimate targets. So what this does is you slim that down into a six card package. Well, it's actually 10 since you count reanimate. I guess you could call reanimate as always a good card. Valgavot is the only card that's dead in this shell. Demonic Council could also become just another copy of Demonic Tutor. So if you have Delirium, you could maybe search for a Harbinger. Maybe you need a Fatal Push. Maybe you need to search for Treasure Cruise. So it's really flexible that way. And we have the MVP here, Psychic Frog, to discard Valgavot so that we can reanimate it. We can also discard a bunch of cards in our hand in order to make this a demonic tutor if needed. You could possibly discard Harbinger on turn 3, reanimate it, hold up mana drain at the same time. We're running 18 lands here with two two tap lands, and I guess we could count the couple of trolls as two more tapped lands. So essentially we're running 20. And as for the sideboard, it's just the standard blue black tempo sideboard pieces like Spell Pierce, Spell Snare. Spell Pierce is for the show and tell decks, the control decks. Spell Snare is for the Mardu matchup, the Dimir matchup, and sometimes even the control shells of show and tell. This is very useful since they started to run mana drains, and it can even get assemble the team or demonic tutor. Bloodchifters hits the flip planeswalkers like Tamio and a flip Johnny. Unlicensed is just your usual graveyard hate for the fair matchups. This is great against the Dimir Frog matchup in particular. You could also use this in the Mardu and Boros matchups. Surgical extraction. I usually side one in against show and tell just in case I have, let's say, grief. I can get their show and tell, surgical extraction it. That way, you kind of win on the spot. We have additional discard spells. Disruptor Flute for Necropotence or Cotonian Nightmare or the One Ring. And this is actually a good one that we get from Cutting Lures, Brazen Borrower. So this is a way to deal with the problematic permanents that the standard blue black shells can't handle. And we have a couple of sweepers here. Meat Hook Massacre is a way to gain life, but I'm not really sure about this. I might want to replace this with another Toxic Deluge because we're only running one swamp. So if we have Harbinger, well, I guess if you run Harbinger, you wouldn't really be sweeping the board. Anyway, let's try to play some games with this deck. Right, our opponent is on a Jegantha deck, probably energy. We have frog, so this might be okay. Oh, it's domain. Guess we're just taking the Cavu. Lay out Psychic Frog. Nice. Against domain, I guess we want Blood Shifters, Spell Snare, Collective Brutality seems medium here. Grief, actually, we don't want. Let's play Brazen Borrower. Hmm, I guess we should still play Brutality just to clear instants and sorceries. All right, that's a good hand. We can go push into Frog, into Tutor, Reanimate. Right, there's also that card that right Shaman. Oh, there, a Frog deck. Not gonna block here. Tutor for Reanimate. Let's try to push. Let's see if we can land a Harbinger. We can fetch a red source here. Nice. Oh, it's Greaseball. They are on Joganta. I'm not sure what. Maybe maybe an energy variant. Oh wait, I think this is the red green FOMO list. Hopefully they made it John. Where's the John? All right, there's the frog. Arena of Glory into FOMO. That's a good. turn two. It's a naughty turn two, actually. Imagine if I didn't have push here. And that thing will continue to deal 4 per turn. Guess I could just attack here. Right? Discard. Discard. Hmm, Guess we could do this. Just make sure we aren't just dead. Rumble. I have to be careful about the FOMOs. Guess we hold back. Blood Moon. Alright. Since this is an aggro deck that relies on Delirium, let's play on Licensors. Spellster looks nice here. The Chiefsters. Grief probably is bad. They're a Blood Moon deck. So I might drop a Brutality for Brazen Borrower. Yeah, I think that's it. We could cut one of these for Spell Pierce, I guess. So the bad side, I guess for him, the concern is how do I sequence this? It's bestie. All right, that's great. I can cycle the troll here. Pretty nice that bestie can attack on turn two. Beastie, bestie. All right, let's call. Let's see if they waste another bolt. It actually would be fine. Hmm, Let's see if they bolt again. Let's see if they block. No block. Hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have revolt. Yes, this work. All right, it's pretty nice. Yes, I don't want the collective brutality at all. Maybe we want toxic deluge instead. Let's mulligan. We're gonna mulligan again. This hand is actually so bad. Guess we do this. I'm gonna fetch for basics. It's one card type, two, three, and we find an instant we can turn on a reanimate. Guess we're getting the demon here. Man, that's fast. We're going to bounce something here. Sucks because we don't have a way to find both. It's highly likely we're just dead here. Hmm, let's play first. We see Jegantha. We have Harbinger, which could be nice. Let's lead with Scalding Tarn. We're just gonna fetch for Surveil here. Alright, let's play Island. Then we're going to mana drain whatever their turn to play is. Alright, that should do it. Play Swamp, play Harbinger. Let's get Psychic Frog here. Nice. So on the draw, that won't really work. We don't want the griefs. We want spell snare, spell pierce, toxic deluge, Hook massacre, blood chief's thirst. Could trim down bubble, trim down on a demonic council, maybe a Valgavot for a disruptor flute. Think this hand is fine. Thoughtseize. What are they going to get here? Probably brainstorm. Did not expect them to have black. Let's not fetch. Let's just spell snare this. Let right shaman. Yes, that's fine. Why would you bin unlicensors have one ring? Three. Oh my god. This is so bad. We're gonna hope they don't have the green source. Alternatively, they could. Alright, I guess that's fine with me. Let's see if Valgavot can get there. Valgavot versus the One Ring. Should have gotten the Watery Grave instead. That's my peddler now. Guess we could take the swords. Now what? Hmm. We're probably just going to save Fatal Push. They can't flip a Johnny. See what they take here. Push the peddler. The guide, I mean. Nice. Great showing from Valgavot. And we're back. So I guess the first thing to mention is what are the apparent problems of the deck? What are its strengths over the Dimir Tempo Shell? So let's start with the strengths first. I really like the Harbinger axis of this deck. It's seemingly good in the current state of the current state of timeless. A lot of people aren't expecting this card. A lot of people are on three colors or more. Collective brutality. This card is actually a hit or miss, but I think this is necessary for the list. It grants you life and it usually kills something on the turn you cast this while discarding a payoff. The only problem here is if you don't have the payoff already in hand, you're gonna discard something important. So I guess for the purpose of having a discard outlet, this is still a strength. This has over the blue black shell is its ability to finish games quickly. So by having this combo of Reanimate and Valgavot, games really end fast. So if you manage to get this out on turn 3 even, it's always usually game since this can protect itself. Demonic Council is actually pretty useful because it can act just like a demonic tutor in some spots. And I really like the lines where you can demonic counsel into treasure cruise. Now for the apparent weaknesses of the deck, one is the reanimate axis itself. So Valgavot costs 9 mana to cast. That means you'll be taking 9 damage from reanimate. So by the time around turn 3, you're gonna be already at around 15 or 12 life. That leaves you at both range. But the upside to that is that if you survive that turn, Valgavot can regain that 9 life back. Grief and Reanimate is really underwhelming in my opinion. The starts where you can Grief into Reanimate, the opponents can usually recover from that unless you have exactly Psychic Frog to follow up with the scam plan. The reanimate troll plan isn't that great. Also, it's pretty mediocre. This only ever works against the blue black tempo shell, but other decks usually have swords to plowshares, static prison. And yeah, the biggest one of all is losing lures. Mana drain actually feels really underwhelming in the shell because you don't have anything to cast with the extra mana from mana drain. So I guess it's more of a deck building issue more than an issue with this deck itself. Maybe this isn't supposed to be mana drain. I was thinking about playing drawn in the lock in this slot instead. I don't see myself putting more mana sinks for this mana drain. Feel like that's unnecessary for this deck. So to summarize, I really don't like the griefs in here. I feel like this is the biggest trap in deck building so far. Second, I think I want more discard outlets since a real problem that could happen is you can get Valgavot, but you can never get it out of your hand. That happened on the game 2 of this video against Greaseball. As for the sideboard, I think this is fine. I'm not really sure if you want one ring in this deck. You're already taking 9 from reanimating Valgavot. Maybe there are other better reanimate targets. Maybe we could play the new Oculus. Maybe we could play this card instead. We just need to find better reanimate targets. I would probably go do this instead. I think collecting brutality is pretty good in this deck. It gains you life, it clears the way for your Valgavot or Harbinger. Grief, I'm not really sure if I still want this card in the 75. I guess it stays, but not as a 4 off. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.